Hello everybody and welcome back to Drawing with Mrs. Mills. I'm so happy that you've decided to join me again, and I want to jump right in to talking about proportion in the upper body. Yesterday we talked about the skull, we talked about how the skull can be used as a unit of measurement, and I just wanted to real quick show you this illustration from a book called Anatomy and Drawing by Victor Perard, where he takes a skull and kind of shows you some of the basic units, how it lines up with other bones and parts of the body. It's a nice, useful illustration. This is one of my favorite books because they show you lots of good stuff about the bones and the underlying muscles and such things. And speaking of, I'm going to change the page here to a nice section about the face and the neck, and you can see he's done some really nice drawings of all the musculature and the parts of the head. So let's get into how using the skull as a unit of measurement, we can kind of work on the upper body. So let's start with a circle for our head. And I want you to go ahead and actually put in the same distance that you just did. So if this is your head, bring it down, and we're going to use this here. And bring your central line down. So, if we divide this in half, and then bring our head at that halfway point, all right, so where this halfway point is, I want you to put in right above that, the sternal notch, and then you can start to construct the neck. And if you look at these big muscles here, right here, these are the sterno-mastoid muscles, and they're going to come in right strongly to here and to here. And what is happening off of here is your clavicle, right here. And that kind of goes down and up and over. And what should your width of your clavicle be? It's actually beyond the edge of the head. And I think he showed us back here on the page, the clavicle is a little over halfway. All right, so now I'm going to come behind there and draw in some of these behind muscles, your trapezius back here, that upper curve. And then your shoulder is going to slant down into where that head distance was. And then you can put this exterior muscle here for the sides of the neck. All right, so I know this might seem a little extreme to kind of get the idea of how things work in the upper body. We want to put our line in for the eyes. But if you can start to think about the clavicle, the sternocleidomastoids, and this sternal notch here, it's really going to help you. And if you reach to yourself and touch that sternal notch, it's pretty, you can feel it. And this will really help you when you're drawing the head, because if you can see it on someone, you can tell if their head's turned. If their head's straight, it's going to be like right lined up like we are right now. And take a moment and look at these clavicles if you're drawing from a person, because they're also very good for helping you set up your upper body. I don't want to get too heavy into the anatomy, but I do want you to think about the neck and the head and the relationship. So you've seen this was two head, there's one head, two head, right? And then we went side to side for the edges, side to side for the edges of the shoulders. See how that angles up? And you can start to build out the upper body. It's a whole nother thing to see the upper body from the back. And maybe I'll do a video about that too, so I can show you some of the anatomy along the back. But we also are going to get into some of the anatomy in the arms and the shoulder. And I'm trying to keep this medium, not too difficult, because we could really get into the anatomy and I don't want to go too far in that direction, but I want you to know some of the landmarks to look at when you're drawing a face. So definitely look for the sternal notch, definitely look for the clavicles, and see how they are in relation to the head when you are drawing. Again, if you can draw someone you know, work on that neck, get an idea of what it looks like, it's really going to help you improve your drawing. And all these little things, all these little ideas you put in of anatomy are going to make your drawings look more realistic and more believable. And even if you're drawing in a cartoon style, these landmarks are going to help your drawings be better. So, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope that you're drawing and learning, and I hope to see you tomorrow when we come back. Thanks for drawing with Mrs. Mills. Have a fantastic day.